Good evening, Clarity Channel. This is Dan Dumas, and this is the 8-Minute Devotion. I've anchored my thoughts this evening in Job chapter 1. We're going to go look at the rough terrain of Job, which was the first Old Testament book written. And we're going to go back thousands of years and look at his leadership as we discuss and think upon the sovereignty of God. We need a heavy dose of the sovereignty of God. I've entitled our challenge this evening, Leaders Don't Panic. It's a mantra of mine, and I thought it would be helpful for all of us to remind ourselves that leaders don't panic. I want to begin by pointing out a couple of things about Job. First and foremost, he was a godly man. Job 1:1 states, there was a man in the land of Uz, and that man was blameless, upright, fearing God, and turning away from evil. This is the author's commentary of Job. Second, and most important, it's God's commentary of Job later in chapter 1. And if we would go to chapter 2, verse 8, we would see it's his wife who gives the same commentary. So the author, a holy God, and the woman who lives with him and knows him best all agree that this man is a man of God. He's a godly man. Second thing you note right out of the gate in chapter 1 is that he's a businessman. He has a pretty big portfolio of companies, and he employs thousands upon thousands of people. Third, you'll note that he's a family man, that he prayed over his kids as they gathered in one of Job's sons' home, and as they celebrated a birthday, he would pray over them. He didn't want them to do anything to offend God or to sin against God. And then in chapter 1, the scene changes. It leaves from earth and goes to heaven. And you have the devil coming into the very presence of God and bringing accusation, because he's the slanderer, right? Diablos, that's what he is. He's a slanderer. He's bringing accusation against Job. And God brings it up. Have you considered Job's character? Have you considered Job's resolve? And the devil responds by saying, I have, but the only reason he loves you is because you bless him. If you remove all those physical blessings, then he will come apart or crash like a house of cards. And God says, oh no, he won't. And he allows, get that, he allows Satan, our adversary, which we talked to the men about this morning, our adversary, to pursue Job and to wreak havoc in his life. It's like 4 monster waves that hit Job's life. It's incredible. Everything comes apart. His businesses are raided. I mean, it's just wave after wave, knock upon the door, knock, 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 knock. Every time. It's another wave of intense adversity. Finally, the fourth one is a real gut check. He gets word that tornadic activity had taken place. And as his sons and daughters were all gathering in one house, a tornado hit the house and it killed all 10 of his children. So now Job has lost everything in his businesses, and now he has his family, and they're gone. I mean, a lot of times we can lose a lot of material things, and we know that we come home, it's a refuge. We still have our wife or our husband. We still have our children, and we can rebuild. Now he's standing over 10 fresh graves, wave upon wave of adversity. And then as chapter 1 comes to a conclusion, you know the devil's sitting there watching this, picking his teeth, just waiting for the collapse of Job's character, waiting for Job to curse God rather than to bless the Lord. And the text states that he shaved his head, he fell to the ground, and with great anticipation, he worshiped. He worshiped. You would almost expect something very different, right? The text says, no, he worshiped the Lord. How is that possible? How can you even get a straight knife on your head after seeing your kids all killed in this tragic accident, losing everything? You're at zero. You've cratered in your life. It's absolutely a horrific situation. And this is what he states so clearly. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Through all of this, Job did not sin, nor did he blame God. Listen, folks, we have to trust in the sovereignty of God. I want to challenge you as we think about the sovereignty of God even this week, and we think about the current situation we're in, the waves of adversity and the news we get about how COVID-19 is causing so much loss of life and even people we know. I want you to pillow your head on the sovereignty of God, right? I want you to trust the Lord. As R.C. Sproul once said, there's not one rogue molecule, that God is in total control. He's in total control. And third, he's never been surprised. He's never had an aha moment. He's never been surprised. All of this that we're currently experiencing, he has full awareness of, full knowledge of. And so Job leaned into the sovereignty of God. Let me challenge you this week as you dawn a new week, as we're now Monday, second day into the new week. Let me encourage you to trust in the sovereignty of God. Don't panic. Job did not curse God in his adversity. He blessed the Lord. He thanked God. The Lord gives, the Lord takes away. Will the Lord find you that way this week? Is that the reflection of your heart? This is the 8-minute devotion. And as always, be encouraged, be challenged, and be clear. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the 2-minute drill with Kurt Gebhards.